Hi and welcome to my very first devlog video. In this video I want to show off the game that I am currently working on. The game is currently called Neon Dash, which is a temporary name of course. The game is basically an endless running platformer. The user needs to control the player and avoid falling off from the buildings. Pretty basic, right? So I decided to make my first ever mobile game. How hard could it be, right? I am using Unity game engine and writing the code in C Sharp. The only mechanic the player has is jumping, so I want to implement the tap to jump feature. I quickly opened my Unity and started working on the prototype. Getting the ideas is the most difficult part. I wanted to make something simple, like just tap and jump, that's it. Casual, easy, chill. And so the game was begun. I have finished the jumping mechanic. I kept the player static and made the platforms to move towards the player. The speed of the player gradually increases as the game progresses. I have added some particle effects, parallax backgrounds, UI screens. I have added some obstacles on the platforms. The player now either dies when he hits an obstacle or falls down. But I quickly changed this idea as it's making the game difficult. Now, instead of dying, the player's speed reduces when he hits an obstacle. Now it's time to improve the art. As I don't know how to do it, I went to the Unity's asset store and stole some assets. This is how our final game looks. I again fixed some more bugs and the game was ready to be built. So now our main menu has turned from this to this. I wanted to learn how to implement ads. So I followed some tutorials online to implement it. Everything was working fine in the Unity engine until I hit the build button. The game isn't building. I sat for hours, tried to fix it, but I couldn't. So I finally dropped the idea of ads and built the game. Making games is basically 90% fixing the stuff you broke while fixing the other stuff. Again fixed some more bugs and the game was ready to be built. Now let's take a look at the development process and break down each stage. I will walk you through how I created the game, what challenges I faced, and how everything came together. So let's go into it. I started by creating a Unity 2D project and building the initial prototype. I made a simple player character and added a basic movement script. Then I designed some platforms and created a small level. At first my idea was to make a classic 2D platformer, but after testing it out I decided to switch things up. I changed the core mechanic to a tap to jump style game. The player stays still while the platforms move towards them. The speed gradually increases, making it more challenging the longer you survive. I also added a score system and a basic game over menu to complete the gameplay loop. This stage was all about making the game feel better. I added some light effects and glows, used parallax backgrounds to give it depth, and introduced obstacles on the platforms that slow down the player. I also added trail effects and particles to make everything feel more dynamic. Once the gameplay felt solid, I replaced the prototype art with proper assets from the Unity Assets tool. This made the game look much cleaner and closer to what I had in my mind. Finally, I added background music and sound effects, fixed a few bugs, and improved the UI. I also implemented banner ads into the game. With all that done, the game is finally complete and ready to be played. I am planning to release this game on the Play Store soon. I will share an update once it's live. Make sure to follow me on my socials to stay updated and catch more behind the scenes content. So the app was ready. I tested it in my mobile and the game was working fine. The game is not perfect and still looks a little bit odd, but it's alright. I got some experience while working on this game and have some pretty good ideas to improve the game in the future. Until then, see ya.